Hey guys, Mark Nicol here again with another little video for you. Pardon me, excuse me. So I've just driven to the public library to go and do some work today because I find trying to work at home is just too distracting. There's too much other stuff I could be doing, little jobs that kind of keep catching my eye that distract me from doing my work. So I've come out to the public library. But I just did this thing, it was a real conscious effort, and it proved to be quite challenging today. And that was, I drove here, which is like 15-20 minutes, without listening to the radio, without listening to a podcast, literally driving with just myself for company. It's because I realised that just recently, I'm so invested in kind of like wanting to learn more and to grow and stuff, I constantly, whenever I'm like on my own or I have time to myself, I'm reading a book, I'm listening to podcasts or watching videos on YouTube and stuff. That I never really, I've become aware that I don't actually have I don't spend or don't take enough time to actually just hear my own thoughts. I saw this great quote yesterday, and it was like, the secret to releasing your inner wisdom is to stop drowning it out with all of the information that you're taking in, or something along that lines. And sometimes I find myself a bit sort of like frustrated when I come to sort of try and write blogs and emails or produce work, that I'm kind of like, oh man, what? I don't know what to do. And then I go and search off and look at other people's works for inspiration for my own, rather than being able to just simply produce stuff from within me. But that's something I really want to be able to do, is to just produce the stuff that's within me and give it out to you guys, like this video. So it kind of really challenged me today, because I think as well, a lot of the time we kind of use like external stimulus, so flicking through Facebook, flicking through Instagram, watching the TV, listening to the radio, listening to podcasts and stuff, is we use that stuff almost as like sedation. We use it to block out our own thoughts, and typically, and I know certainly for myself this is true, we try and subconsciously, perhaps we're doing it without really knowing it, but we use this stuff to block out our thoughts because deep down inside there's things that we're not happy about. Okay, there's elements to our lives that we're not happy about. So like for me at the moment, having moved to Cornwall, I'm having to kind of restart my business, having to re-establish myself down here, and it's challenging. I find it's challenging. It really is quite challenging. Having gone from being quite established, being known, being regarded as as a good personal trainer, as a good coach, to coming down here to kind of having to make my name again to rebuild my business, I find it quite tough. And there'll be times, if I'm honest, it's kind of hit my ego a little bit. It's kind of dinked my self-confidence a touch, a lot at times, if I'm honest. And I think so often like I say, it's those thoughts that I've been trying to sort of just push to one side because I don't necessarily want to feel or admit to those things. But as is always the case, until you're actually honest about what's going on and what you're feeling, you can't do fuck all about it. So for me today, and it's quite a revelation, and it's hopefully you're picking up on it, it's quite empowering that actually having just spent 20 minutes in silence, just connecting with what am I thinking at the moment, what is going on for me. All these thoughts of like, oh, I'm never going to make it, my business is done now, I'm never going to be able to rebuild it. Actually, by acknowledging and being aware of those thoughts, I've then been able to kind of check it and then run through a process that I use called inquiry, which I've learned from an amazing lady called Byron Katie, who I came across through following people like Paul Morton, Garrett J. White, and other people, which is basically a process of questioning your own thoughts, because this is really insightful. Not everything that you think is actually true. Okay, so it's the learned process of actually questioning your own thoughts. So just that 20 minutes of quiet time today taught me some valuable lessons, or reinforced some valuable lessons about you need to take regular quiet time to reconnect with yourself, so that you can understand what's going on in your life for yourself, so that you can kind of question your own thoughts, and determine whether what you're thinking is true, whether what's holding you back really does need to be holding you back, and whether you can actually just push on and push through. So that was that for me. That's all I wanted to share with you today, guys. It's dead simple, but quite challenging. See how you fare. So yeah, my challenge to you today is, whether it's a car journey, whether it's a commute home on the bus or the train, or whether it's just some time at home, see if you can just take 10, 15, 20 minutes to just sit and do nothing, and just see what goes on in your head, and just, yeah, connect with kind of what your heart and what your body and your kind of spirit is trying to say to you, and then that way you can kind of try and live in more alignment with it rather than trying to just battle it. All right, all the best. Love you lots. Speak to you again soon. Bye.